Homework help failed. Helping my daughter with probability homework. It's on the computer, and once the correct answer is filled in, it marks it correct. Different AI platforms are giving different answers, and none of them are correct. Okay, let's have a look. The question says, each spinner below is spun once. What is the probability that the result will be a 3 or a consonant? Okay, here is the deal. We have two spinners. Each part right here, it's meant to be equal. It's just my picture is bad. And I didn't draw the arrow. Just excuse me on that. But anyways though, we're trying to get the probability of getting a 3 from the first one, or, and here's a key word, or a consonant from the second one. So I'm going to show you what to do first, and I'm going to explain why later on. So what we have to do first is we are going to compute each probability. So for the first one, we have to first get the probability of getting a 3. So let me just write it down like this. And to do so, we just have to count how many 3s there are. We have 1 3, 2 3s, and 3 3s. So getting a 3 is going to be 3 out of how many parts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And remember, each part is meant to be with equal area, so it's meant to be with equal chance of landing the arrow into each part. But anyways, 8 parts. So the probability of getting a 3 for the first one is just 3 over 8. Now we are going to do the same for the second one to get the probability of a consonant. Same thing. And of course, a consonant means it's not a vowel. It's not A, E, I, O, U. So A is a vowel, it's not what we want. B is a consonant, and the C is 1, D is 1, E is a vowel, so that's not an F, G, and H. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6. And then again over 8 equal parts. I'm not going to reduce the fraction because I like to have same denominator. Now, this is how it goes. To figure this out, we are going to have the probability of getting a 3 from the first one, and then we add it with the probability of getting a consonant from the second one. And then this is the trickiest part. You first have to ask yourself, can you get a 3 from here and getting a consonant from here? If it's a yes, then you are going to subtract the probability of getting a 3, and notice that this is an AND situation, a consonant. This is the trickiest part. And I'm going to do this for you, and you'll see that this is definitely necessary. It's also like a way that it should remind you, something's wrong. So we have done P of 0 already, which is just 3 over 8. And then we add P of a consonant, which is just 6 over 8. So have a look. If I didn't have this part, then I would just do 3 over 8 plus 6 over 8, and that would be what? 9 over 8. And what's wrong with this answer for a probability question? Well, this is wrong because this number is bigger than 1. Remember, when you are answering a probability question, the answer cannot be negative and the answer cannot be bigger than 1. So something must be wrong. What's wrong though? Well, it's because we haven't done this yet. Now, how do we do this and why do we have to do this? Let me tell you the how first, and I'll tell you the why. How though? When you have to compute the probability of one event and the second event, you first ask yourself, are they independent? Meaning that when this happens, will that affect the chance of this being happening? If it's a no, they have no effect of each other, then you just have to do the following. All you have to do is, I'll just write this down, the probability of the first thing times the probability of the second thing. And to be technical a little bit, we say these two events are independent. Meaning that when this happens, well, it's not going to affect the chance of this from happening. they are independent. When they are independent, you just have to do the first one times the second one to get the n. So now let's just work this out. So we subtract this, which is 3 over 8, times that, which is 6 over 8. And of course, we can do the fraction. I can reduce this a little bit now. When you multiply, it's easier that way. So that will be reduced by 2, which is 3, and 4. 3 times 3 is 9 on the top. 4 times 8 is 32. And then let's get the common denominator. We multiply by 4. So we can have 32 on the bottom. So we have 36 over 32 minus 9 over 32. 36 minus 9 is 27, and then the denominator is still 32. And then we are done. The answer is 27 over 32. And as you can see, this number is less than 1. So you know you have a higher chance of getting this right. The answer to a probability equation can never be bigger than 1. So now, let's talk about why we have to subtract this. And to show you guys why, I would like to show you guys pictures. And the pictures is called Venn diagram. So I'm going to draw you guys a first circle to represent like how you can get a street from the first spinner. So this is get a street. And I'm going to draw a second circle to represent the situation for us to get a consonant from the second one. But again, they can happen at the same time. So when I draw the second circle, I'm not going to draw it away because otherwise it looks like they cannot happen at the same time. I will have to draw it with an overlap like this. And this is get a consonant. Now check this out. This part, I'm going to shade this in. The red part, getting a street. And we saw that it was 3 over 8, right? Probability of getting a street, which is 3 over 8. And then this part, getting a consonant, we saw that is 6 over 8. So I'm going to shade this in like this. And the whole thing is 6 over 8. But now notice, because they could happen at the same time, if I add them up, the middle part, the overlap part, has been added twice. That's not good because we overcounted. So the way that we are going to fix that is to subtract this out. And this part is precisely what we computed right here, and that was 9 over 32. The probability of getting a street and getting a consonant.